Are there any real contenders in the AFC this year? Jackson Dart's first start was a success, and is Dak Prescott an MVP candidate? That and more next on This Week in the NFL. At this point that this video is being posted, the Seahawks and Cardinals have played basically a week ago, so I'm not going to stress too much on this game except for I think that the Seahawks are a really good football team and the Cardinals almost lucked into a win. Their offense looks horrible. Marvin Harrison had a little pick-me-up at the end of the game, but overall he wasn't very good in this game, and it just doesn't seem like this offense is going to be able to be very good this year. And I don't have a lot of hope for the Cardinals. Their defense is better than expected. Their offense is worse than expected. I guess maybe it'll even out and they'll have I don't know. I don't have any different feelings about the Cardinals than I did to begin the season. However, the Seahawks, I will have to say a little bit of my sorries to Sam Darnold. He's played amazing over there, and I really didn't think I saw that coming. I did not think that Sam Darnold was going to be very good, but good for the Seahawks. Good win to take on a Thursday night, and good job staying away from a massive comeback. Now, the Bills won, the Ravens lost, to the Chiefs, and the top three candidates we all know are the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Bills. Those are usually the top three AFC contenders every single year. This year, you might be able to throw in the Chargers. All four of those teams have shown weaknesses all year. The Chargers haven't shown big ones until this game. The Bills have just been kind of underwhelming in their wins. They played a very competitive game against the Saints until the end there. And overall, their defense has not looked as good as it could look throughout the season so far. And if we go to the Ravens, we know what we've seen from them this year, and that's bad football play. They've lost a couple of bad games. They kind of got blown out by the Chiefs and the Lions. They came back a little bit against the Lions to make that game, or they didn't even come back a little bit. It was kind of just a garbage time score from Lamar, and that was they had another garbage time score against the Chiefs. They have been destroyed in the past 2 weeks. For the Ravens, if you want to have optimism, it's really hard because you think of how bad their defense is, and you think of how this team wasn't close the past 2 weeks against these two teams. And if we date that back to the fourth quarter against the Bills, they have played horribly against good teams. Obviously, really choking that game against the Bills. Never really being in it against the Lions. I mean, they were in it for a second, but I mean, well, no. Okay, they were in it in the fourth quarter, and then the fumble happened, and they kind of lost all momentum and got kind of blown out since then. And then the Chiefs, they were just never in this game. Besides scoring the first touchdown, they really were never in this game. And it was kind of an extremely embarrassing showing. They have a lot of injuries on this team. There is a reason for panic for the Baltimore Ravens this season, because there's a chance they don't make the playoffs. They're a team that can beat bad teams, but with all these injuries, I don't know. Overall, I think the Ravens have a massive question mark in if they can be a real contender. At least the Bills and the Chiefs have beat the Ravens, but both of them haven't looked good either, besides the Chiefs looking good this game. And in previous games, they came in 1-2 for a reason, having only beaten the Giants. The Chiefs haven't looked good either. Their defenses look dysfunctional. They have a lot of injuries on the offensive side of the ball. They're looking better, though, and there's a lot more to look forward for the Chiefs. And I really think that they're going to pick up the pace. And right now, they just look like the team that is probably going to make the Super Bowl once again in the AFC. They look like the best team. They don't look that much better than the Bills look right now. The Bills are 4-0. The Bills, with a comeback against the Ravens, have ugly win. Well, I guess they thwomped the Jets, but against the Dolphins, that was kind of an ugly win. As against the Saints, another ugly win. But their 3 out of their 4 wins have been the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Saints. All teams that have been horrible. The Jets haven't won a game yet this season. The Dolphins' only win is against the Jets. The Saints, as well, have not won a game this season. And the Ravens have only won 1 game. Their combined record against the teams that they've played are 2, and however many losses that adds up, but only 2 accumulated wins over the last 4 games against opponents, playing basically 3 teams that haven't won a game this season, but they haven't played anybody and they haven't looked that good. The only time that they've played somebody that's been able to gash them in the run game and really exploit what is really wrong with this Bills, not only their defense, but everything that is wrong with the Bills right now. Once they reach a team that can really show the defensive woes of this team, it's gonna get freaky. They have not looked like a 4-0 football team at all so far this season. They've just had a really, really easy schedule, and it doesn't get much harder for them for the next few weeks. That they get to play the Patriots and then the Falcons and then the Panthers, which the Patriots have looked decent. The Falcons have, I guess, looked okay. They beat the Commanders without Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. And then the Panthers beat the Falcons 30-0. So I guess, but 3 teams that they should easily beat. I mean, they should be going 7-0 going against the Chiefs in week 8. And that could be their first loss. I guess that will really test who the best AFC team is or the best contender is, and most likely the Bills are going to beat the Chiefs because the Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season normally. I haven't seen one AFC team put up a performance that would show that they can beat any of the best AFC teams or the best NFC teams. The Colts looked really good at the beginning of the season. They lost to the Rams. The Rams look really good, and in fact, they were killing the Eagles for a half. And they look like they can beat the Eagles, who look like the best team in the league, even with horrible offensive play. The Buccaneers were 3-0 before they played the Eagles, and they've been playing well this season. The Lions, besides one game against the Packers, look like one of the best teams in the NFL, if not the best. I don't know. They've looked really, really good. The Packers, once again, they have Micah Parsons. Yes, they've taken a couple bad games in a row, but my confidence in the Packers isn't wavering too much yet. I think they can get it done, and even from the last 2 games, them being underwhelming, I still believe that the Packers are probably a top 3-4 team in the NFC, and I think that all of the top 3-4 NFC teams are all better than the top 3 to 4 AFC teams. Like the 4th best NFC team is better than the best AFC team as of right now. I don't see an AFC team contending with an NFC team at this current moment. The next thing we'll talk about is Dak Prescott. He played absolutely amazing without CeeDee Lamb in this game against the Packers. The Packers defense has been menacing all season. They let the Lions, being the best offense last year, or the most efficient offense last year, they held them to 13 points. The Commanders, being another one of the most disciplined, really good, efficient offenses of last year with Jaden Daniels, they hold them to 18 points, and one of those was a consolation prize score, so I'd say more closer to 10 points. The Browns, I could argue that they only gave away like 3. Honestly, like the Browns only scored like 3 points in my opinion, and they won the game because they got 10 points from the Packers being undisciplined on special teams. They have been an amazing defense all season. They go against the Cowboys, and Dak Prescott played absolutely amazing. He had 319 yards. He had 3 touchdowns. He threw no interceptions. He was amazing. He was absolutely amazing. Probably the best quarterback performance we've seen all season. He knew that he was going to have to get the ball out, that Micah Parsons was going to want to sack him, was going to want to throw off the entire Packers game plan, or the entire Cowboys game plan. He knew what was going on coming into this game, and he was surgical. He knew where he wanted to go with the football. He was reading the defense really well. He was moving in the pocket really well. He was throwing the ball insanely accurately. He played about as good as he possibly could have played. So good for Dak Prescott. Jordan Love was also underratedly amazing in this game. As much as people want to talk about Dak Prescott being amazing, which is okay, and Dak Prescott is in the MVP conversation currently, Jordan Love was also amazing in this game. He was also surgical in this game. It's easier to be surgical against the Cowboys defense, though. That's why it goes more to Dak Prescott and how he absolutely diced up the Packers secondary and how he didn't take any sacks, or maybe he took one. Did he take any sacks in this game? Dak Prescott took 1 sack for 0 yards. Oh yeah, that was the Micah Parsons sack that he took that was basically no gain. So he really, it was the perfect performance from Dak Prescott. Like, you could not ask for a better performance from your starting quarterback without your with a terrible defense and without your starting wide receiver that is probably top 5 in the NFL. Amazing performance from Dak Prescott. You have to give him his flowers for that one. I want to say, once again, that the Colts are really surprising me this season. Although they lost this game, they were in position to possibly win it against the Rams. The Rams are the better team, in my opinion, and I thought that they would win, and I thought Matthew Stafford would have a big day. He almost had 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, so I can say I was right about that. And I can say that this Rams offense is super, super high-powered and going to be tough to stop for anyone. And we knew that Daniel Jones wasn't going to be able to keep up that perfect stat line and be perfect all season. And this is the game where the mistakes came, and as soon as the mistakes came, they lose a game. And I think that the Colts are going to be a playoff team. I just don't think that they can contend with Daniel Jones. I think it may be a similar thing with Jared Goff, where they could be a very, very good or a good regular season team. But when it comes to really important games, how is he going to fare? And he could totally prove me wrong, because in other matchups, especially against like the Broncos defense, he was really, really good. And well, I don't even need to say really, really good. He was perfect. He was perfect against the Broncos defense. I want to give the Colts their props, even though they lost this game. If Adonai Mitchell doesn't fumble the ball out of the back of the end zone, this game is a completely different story. The Colts just got to stop fumbling the ball out of the back of the end zone, for Christ's sake. Next, we will talk about the Giants and the Chargers. Jackson Dart, fantastic start for him. I don't think it was all that impressive, though, if I'm going to be honest. He was good. He did what he needed to do. He didn't force plays. He didn't turn the ball over. And that's all you can ask for out of a first-player start, especially going up against the Chargers defense. I said in my predictions video that I didn't really believe that Jackson Dart would have a good game because it's the Chargers defense. It just doesn't seem like something that would be a good situation for him to go into. And then Malik Neighbors tears his ACL. They still won the game. He still looks good. So good for Jackson Dart. He didn't really push the ball down the field, and when he did, he wasn't very accurate. There was a few passes that he missed. When they needed him to perform, he performed pretty well. And I like how Jackson Dart played in this game. He played with grit, and he played with a want to win the damn game, and he did. So good job for the Giants. He played with how simple he played. I think he can keep playing like that and keep this offense afloat. But overall, I don't think it was anything to be super, super impressed about because he wasn't really asked to do anything special. Omarion Hampton, though, was fantastic in this game, so I want to give him his props. That's what you want to see out of Omarion Hampton, going up against a defense like that. So that's something the Chargers can look forward to. It's just like the Chargers to start the season 3-0 against, all divisional opponents. Looked like one of the best teams in the league. Justin Herbert's in the MVP conversation. And then you lose that all to the Giants in week 4. Beautiful, beautiful from you guys. I have a little thing to say about the Eagles. Their offense still doesn't look amazing, but it looks like it doesn't matter. It really looks like it doesn't matter. If they get that offense together, they're going to absolutely destroy everybody. They're obviously the best team in the league because they can look pretty bad and still beat really good teams. Good for the Eagles. Last game I'm going to talk about is the Broncos versus the Bengals because I am a Broncos fan. I just want to say thank you, Broncos, for absolutely winning that game. Did we leave the door open for this to be a bigger blowout than it was? Absolutely. One interception from Bo Nix, which I didn't love. I know what he was going for, but I think he could have easily just ran that one in as well. But I don't hate it. The play calling has, in the past couple weeks, has been really, really good from Sean Payton. When we've been losing games, I see a lot of people criticizing the Sean Payton play calling, including myself. I'm not going to actually disclude myself out of that 100%. But I will say that it's kind of ill-advised because he schemes things up well. Unfortunately, Bo Nix has just missed some throws, especially against the Chargers. We could have had 3 different scoring drives in that game that could have been converted if Bo Nix makes the right play. Or if Bo Nix, not even that he makes the right play, he did make the right play. He just missed it. So I think that this team, if Bo Nix can play the way he did last night, or I guess that was 2 nights ago as this is being posted. If Bo Nix can keep that up, this team is absolutely dangerous. I don't care what anyone says. The Broncos defense and then Dre Greenlaw getting healthy, what I will say is that next week it won't show. Denver will get their absolute asses kicked next week against the Eagles. I have no doubt in my mind, and I guarantee you, Saquon Barkley has been not great this year. I mean, the run game for the Eagles hasn't been great this year because the pass defense or the pass offense for the Eagles is predictable and bland. So it's kind of easy to just key in on the run game and work with everything else. Next week, the Broncos will lose, and it won't look pretty. It might be a big blowout. The Broncos' run defense, although they didn't give up much to the Bengals, they gave up some. And if you were watching that game, the run defense still wasn't good. It's just the Bengals were playing from behind and had to pass the ball a lot, so they couldn't really run the ball on us because they were in a hole early. The Eagles aren't going to be in a hole early. They are not going to have to pass the ball. And Saquon Barkley, I could key him in for a 60-yard rush in this game, and I can guarantee it. I would put money on a Saquon Barkley 60-yard rushing touchdown. Or as good as Denver looked in this game, I don't see it translating into next week. There's too many issues that have still happened with the Broncos, even in this game, that doesn't give me any confidence that they're going to go into this Eagles game and take a W. I would really hope that we could, but the Eagles are just too good right now for the Denver to be able to even have a shot in that game. But I'm really happy about the win. It was a get-right game. It shows that we can be a playoff team. All I care about is making it to the playoffs, and now I know that we can at least beat the bad teams. So that was this week in the NFL. If you liked it, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.